One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com. One of our favorite sponsors is back. This episode of No Simple Road is proudly sponsored by the one and only Shop Tour Bus. That's right. I said it. Shop Tour Bus.
You did say it.
I did. Go to shoptourbus.com and check out what the digital lot has for your Wook self. It's some dope ass Grateful Dead inspired merch, and they have done something special. Tell them about it. Apple.
You want to know what they did? They are releasing their first poster. And if you're like me, that gets me really excited. I love posters. I am a merch freak. And their first design is the St. Stephen, which is amazing. These are 18 by 24, and they're on 100-pound Navy French paper.
How the hell are you going to lift that poster?
It's 100 pounds. But I mean, it looks amazing, this paper they're on, and it has red, white, and metallic gold ink.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you got to go over and look at when
And
you're
it's a
going
tarot
over
card.
there to look at all the t-shirts and hats and everything else they have. You can check these out.
Yeah.
Get yourself one.
And check this out. You are also going to get whatever you order in a hand-designed, one-of-a-kind box with the Grateful Dead lyric on the inside, or a special message to that someone special on the inside of that box.
Especially for the holidays.
Yeah, if you want to do that, you just put it in the notes and they hook you up. And they are giving you free shipping when you put in the
Free
promo
shipping.
code No Simple Road, all one word. So
No Simple
go
Road.
over to shoptourbus.com or at shoptourbus on Instagram. Check out all the really amazing designs that they have for you, and check out these posters, man. These St. Stephen posters are something else.
And in these boxes, everybody's going to get all kinds of goodies and awesomeness. And there's going to be bootlegs going out to some of you people. And they just got refurbished with new bootlegs from Betty Ann and Baby Hot Dog.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thank you, Betty Ann and Baby Hot Dog. So those Miracle Bootleg Grateful Dead cassette tapes are in some of the boxes, so keep your eyes peeled. And remember, you can't get a miracle if you don't order something. Shop Tour Bus. Have you ever listened to Little Feat?
Out of a Dixie chicken?
That you got over at Electric Fish Lights.
Well, shit. You absolutely can if you go to electricfishlights.com.
And when you get there, I'm going to read this because
Read
I
it.
think every now and then it's nice to remind everybody
It bears repeating.
that, light is love. Electric Fish was born out of a passion that they had for IQ technology lighting. Custom lamps are our passion, and they love watching people light up with happiness when they turn their lights on. It brings them joy. Everyone must get one of their lights. Everyone that gets a light learns their motto, light is love.
You know, it is the holidays, and there are those people out there that are difficult to shop for. And let me just tell you that this light, if you get this for somebody for a gift for the holidays, they are not going to be disappointed. They are
Nope.
getting an amazing actual work of art made from IQ technology, which is 30 interlocking pieces that can be configured into 15 different shapes. And when they put those shapes together, basically they can build anything you want. They also have your sports teams and your cartoon characters and all the other stuff that's awesome.
And what
out
they
there.
don't have, you throw an idea at them and they are going to do their best at creating something really dope for you.
Yeah, and they do come with color changing up. You can get an upgrade for a color changing bulb. You can get an upgrade with a Bluetooth speaker bulb that changes colors. I just had mine on in here the other day,
It was beautiful.
and
It creates quite the ambiance.
the No Simple Road poster that's in here actually is 3D when colors are
Wow.
changing fast. So go check this out. Go to electricfishlights.com. Put in the promo code NSR when you check out, and you're going to get 25% off your order.
25% off during the holidays. That is a good
Yeah,
deal.
we could all use saving $1 right now. And you're going to get Delaware Magic. And you're asking me what
is
that is?
Delaware Magic?
I don't know, Apple. It could be a tie-dye shirt. It could be a regular T-shirt. It could be some stickers. It could. I don't
could be
know.
like poof, and now you have good vibes on you.
Could be. We all could use good vibes. We all could use more light in our lives, and we could all use some fun. So go to electricfishlights.com, put in the promo code NSR, get 25% off, and hook yourself up with some enlightenment. When you want to get high in the Portland area, you want to know what you should do?
What?
You should go to Define Premium Cannabis.
Oh,
Where?
hell yeah.
I said Define Premium Cannabis. Melanie.
Wow.
They even have 2 locations.
Where?
Two locations to serve you.
Where
Yes.
shall I go to define
You can
premium
either go
cannabis?
to the location in Hillsboro, or you can go to the location in Forest Grove. It doesn't matter which one, but when you
Ooh.
walk in that door, what you're going to do is you're going to tell them that you are a listener in No Simple Road, and they're going to be like, welcome home, family, and then they're going to give you 10% off of whatever you get, and they're going to give you a free t-shirt your first time in. Yes, that's what I said, t-shirt.
It's a
So-
stoner t-shirt, a ter-shirt.
That's right. So listen, all joking aside, cannabis world is confusing and it can be a little anxiety inducing to walk into
Absolutely.
a dispensary. Define's mission is to make sure that when you walk in, you walk out with the product that you need. They aren't just trying to sell you a bunch of bullshit. I know this for a fact because I live with the dude that buys the weed there and works there. So go out
That's
to
me.
Define. Yeah, that's Apple. In Hillsboro or Forest Grove, 2 locations to serve you. They're taking care of all your cannabis needs.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
Darwin's breathing heavy. The mics are hot. It's Christmas time. And this week's guest on No Simple Road is Bill Payne from Little Feat.
Bill Payne,
Check that
welcome
out.
to the show.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. What's happening, everybody? We're back. This is Aaron.
And Mel.
And this is Apple.
And that's Darwin breathing heavy with his he has his Christmas scarf on today.
He does.
We started putting up our Christmas tree this week, and in the box of Christmas ornaments is Darwin's tattered red and white,
It's
funky,
getting tattered.
old wet dog smelling scarf that he wears around Christmas
Yeah,
time.
it's pretty bad.
And-
It's embarrassing, actually.
Yeah, it looks
It
pretty
was
rough.
cute
Well, because
at
he
first.
has that new one you just hooked him up with, the tie-dye one.
From
Yeah.
Thriving and
Like,
Tie-Dye.
yeah, and
But
it
he
looks
wanted
amazing.
something Christmassy.
Yeah, he asked for
and
something a little more festive.
And
He looks-
it's like he grew out of it. It's like 2 sizes too small.
He looks like- he
it's
look-
frayed at the ends.
You know what he
It's
looks
like
like?
dirty. It's
It looks like Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places at the end when he's all drunk.
He's got
with
the
fish
fish.
stuck in his beard. It's like tattered Santa.
Dan Aykroyd.
But he still he looks dapper. Look at him. He's like,
does.
cute.
Yeah.
Darwin's always cute.
Listen, everybody, we're joking about the dog and his bandana, but we are not joking about Bill Payne.
No.
Yeah. This
we
is an
are-
icon right
yeah,
here.
we were so fortunate to be able to talk to him, and he was just as happy to talk to us. He was so sweet.
We even you guys won't hear it because I edited it out, but we dropped the phone call, the Zoom call with him for a good 5 minutes, and I didn't have his number, and we were in the middle of the interview, and like we were all okay. I was freaking out, and then Zoom connected again, and he was still there, just hanging out, waiting for us to come back. Like, man,
Yeah.
I was so chill about it. He's like, well, where was I going? I figured you guys would make it back. I'm just sitting here waiting. No
It's
problem.
Super cool, man. The consummate professional, and I can't even say enough about Little Feat. The music has been with me my entire life. It was part and parcel with the Grateful Dead scene when I was coming up, and if you listen to the Dead, you also listen to Little Feat, and they are coming back. They're coming back right now with an entire tour. They have a new single out. They are coming back strong, and this is going to be something to behold. These guys getting on stage together for the first time and killing it, and I'm super excited to see what they do.
It was a pleasure talking to Bill and just learning.
Yeah, and they're going hard. We were looking at these tour dates. They announced like 60-something dates
Jesus.
from January all the way through August, and they're going to be all over the place.
Read all 60 of them, Apple, but do it
You'll
slow
do it
and in
slowly.
an English accent.
Yeah, well, if you want to find out about these, go to littlefeat.net, and you can find out where they're going to be in your area. They're playing festivals, all kinds of things.
Yeah, the
are
one that
going
I
on.
saw, I was telling you guys about earlier, I saw they're going to be at Summer Camp Music Festival, which you got Humphreys McGee this year. I saw that Smashing Pumpkins is playing that festival, and Little Feat. Like, that's an eclectic jambalaya festival this year.
Yeah,
Or next year, sorry.
yeah, that'll be that'll be interesting lineup there.
Yeah. So listen, everybody, there's something I have to tell you about this interview that you are about to hear with Bill Payne. We had a technical problem, actually, besides the Zoom call dropping. For whatever reason, the audio gods were angry with No Simple Road that day.
No, they weren't.
And the audio file of our microphones disappeared. So when I went to this just a few minutes ago, when we went to start recording this intro, I pulled up the interview and there was just blank waveforms. And I thought that the interview was lost and we were going to have to re-interview Bill at a later date. Well, turns out I did have the audio from the Zoom call. So that is what you're going to hear. So it's going to sound a little different than your typical No Simple Road quality audio excursion, but the gist is there, and just hang in there. You'll get used to it after a couple minutes and you won't notice the difference anymore. It'll just be normal. But I wanted to give you a heads up so that when you started listening to it, you weren't like, what the hell happened to these guys?
Thank God for this. That you had this is like the emergency backup that you're going to be hearing, because thank goodness for this. It would have been awesome to talk to Bill again, but you're going to hear this. This was a really great interview, and it would have been a bummer to have to do all over again.
And like usual lately, remember, stick around after the conversation with Bill for the check-in with the three of us, and we'll hang out for a little bit with you guys and give you an update on what's going on in our world and everything besides Darwin's neckerchief that smells like old feet.
My one favorite thing that I wrote down that Bill said during the conversation was, I don't separate myself from my art.
Wow.
Right there. That's my favorite. Well, there was another amazing thing he said.
What?
But it's not as good as that one.
Oh, okay. Are you going to fill us in or no?
This one was, he said that he always has a healthy disrespect for authority.
I love that. I relate.
Yes.
100% relate to that one. So yeah, we're going to get you to the interview as soon as we're done doing the business here. So let's do the business and get them on to the show, and then we'll hang out with you guys afterwards.
Yeah. Visit us at nosimpleroad.com on the interwebs.
Yeah, www.nosimpleroad.com. You can sign up for the newsletter there. You can get No Simple Road merch. Hey, listen, it is the holidays. And we all know somebody that listens to the show. I mean, you listen to the show. You know yourself. Hopefully you do. You could buy yourself
up with
some really cool merch. Or if you know another No Simple Road listener, what better thing than a No Simple Road coffee cup to have a warm, hot cup of cocoa under the Christmas tree on Christmas morning? Huh? Tell me.
I don't know.
I'm waiting.
I don't know. That's
not going to happen because that's the coolest thing you could do. Also, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road. That is how you can financially support No Simple Road. Listen, everybody, we live in a world that costs money, and gas is $4 a gallon. I mean, the world is weird right now. And we are moving into a new year, and all the stuff that we do that costs money is increasing in price. So we need your help, basically, is what that boils down to. And Patreon is how you can do that. You can give as little as $1 a month, up to as much as you want. And on we go, and it keeps gas in our tank, and we can keep bringing you these cool interviews with these wonderful icons of American music.
Yeah, it keeps the train chugging along and the conductor conducting.
Yeah, all aboard. And hey, you guys, if you would be so kind as to go on Apple Podcasts and leave us a review, just hit the 5-star button. Or if you don't just want to hit the 5 stars, if you want to hit the 5 stars and then type a little something, that would be a really cool thing. Hey, I got an idea. One of you could leave us a review as a Christmas present to us from you.
Oh, that would be cute.
See?
Yeah. If you do that, you're going to be the first one to do it. We don't have a December one, and it makes us all very happy.
Yeah. And what am I forgetting?
The tepid line.
Oh, 971-808-1524 is the number for the No Simple Road tepid line. If you want to call and ramble on about whatever the hell you feel like rambling on about, that's where you do it. 971-808-1524. And with that, I don't think we're forgetting anything. Do you? No, we cover the bases.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good.
Okay.
Yeah. What other than the one thing we always ask is the best way to get this out is refer us to somebody that you know. If you like this and you like your friends, you probably like similar things. So tell them, and then they'll like us, and then they'll like you better for liking us.
Wow, it's a lot of likes.
It's a lot of likes.
Hey, man, spread the love.
In real time.
There it is. So, yeah, we're going to get you to the interview. So without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Bill Payne.
Hey. Sure. Well, we're gonna
limp into this. Hello.
Yeah.
We're doing that today at rehearsal.
Bill, my name is Aaron. How you doing today, man?
Aaron, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, for being patient.
Oh man, it's an absolute honor to have you on the show, my friend.
Yeah,
and this is
Bill. Thanks. My name is Melanie, and I'm super excited to hear what's going on in your world.
Thanks, Melanie.
And then
it's been a little chaotic last few weeks.
In a good way.
You guys installed other on your back. And who's this gentleman over on your right?
I'm the third one here. My name's Apple.
Apple. All right, Apple. Yeah. Cool.
Yes.
So, Bill, you said it's been hectic. What's going on? I mean, not much.
Well, I just finished the Doobie Brothers tour about a week ago, and I let him know about 2 weeks before that I was going to devote 100% of my time and energies to Little Feat. So I wouldn't be able to tour with them next year. And they were very nice about it. They kind of expected it because we signed with a company called Vector, which is a management company in Nashville, Ken Levitan. Our day-to-day is a guy named Brian Penix. Uh, so yeah, I think we'll see. Mike McDonald might be taking over the keyboard slot and getting back with his friends at the Doobie Brothers. I toured
Wow.
all the time with him recently, and that was fun. But I was just at rehearsals with Little Feat, and yeah, it's just
I mean,
a lot
it
going on.
yeah, it doesn't seem to me that, at least for you, you've ever had a quiet moment.
I haven't had many. I did I had a few days in LA where I flew back home to get a tooth taken out. And that was like on a Thursday. I thought I flipped on Wednesday. Let's say Thursday, the tooth was taken out. Friday, I was back on a plane going down to to
Wow.
meet the Doobie Brothers. I mean, it was just this nuts schedule. And
But would you have it any
but
other
hey,
way?
I'm sort of used to it. I started off in the south of France in June, so that was my baptism back into to life outside of the bubble, I guess.
Yeah,
That's an interesting start back to it being over in France.
Yeah, in the south of France in particular, I was with an artist named Eddie Mitchell. I'd recorded with Eddie before in Los Angeles, uh, but in 2019 they asked if I could come this time go to Europe. And by the time everything rolled around, of course, it was the pandemic was in full swing and everything just went to heck. So we reorganized to do it this last summer, and it was beautiful being over there. It's fun.
wow. Yeah, and so, you speak about the bubble and coming back and all of that. Was the Little Feat tour planned pre-pandemic, or is this something that's come out since then?
It was planned. Uh, it's hard to say. I mean, a lot of people think the pandemic is over, and it might very well be. But there's, we still got to be careful out there. There's
Mhm.
still a lot of people I know that are getting infected, and so we're hopeful that next year, as we have all this stuff set up, that things will begin to lighten up a little bit, and we can actually visit people and say hello to folks that are outside of the bubble. But right now, when I was with the Doobies, three of the guys fell ill. They tested positive.
Oh wow. Are they okay though? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So we shut down for 10 days, and uh, but yeah, that's the kind of calamity and chaos I'm talking about. I mean, the touring stuff is sort of per normal. Uh, I wasn't sure how I would do with any of it, to be honest with you. But it's been great. It's we just had the first three rehearsals with Little Feat, and we hadn't played with each other, you guys. I mean, this was like,
For how long?
okay, let's go to Long Island and see what we all sound like. We've been playing long distance
Oh
with each
shit.
other.
Okay.
So it's the first time we actually sat in a room and played with Tony Leone on drums.
Yeah.
It sounds incredible.
I,
I mean, I'm in there laughing my tail off because it's so much fun. We're just having a blast. So I think this is uh, I knew it would be great, but I honestly know if it would be this good, and it's better than anything I could have dreamt possible. Scott Sherrard is wonderful. Kenny and Sam and Fred Tackett, they all came in knowing pretty much what to do. I said, I'm going to be the wild card here, and I'm going to be the guy that's sort of like, I think I know what I'm doing, but steer me right if you need to.
No, I love that because I mean you're the only original member in the band now, right? You're like the ringleader.
Yeah, I'm the head plate spinner, I guess, on the episode.
Yeah.
I know the feeling.
So exactly. And you go to bed kind of going, okay, now turn off your mind, would you?
It's
Oh,
tough.
those sleep sounds. Oh, that's not it. And then you know, it's been wild. I was thinking this morning, I go, I don't think I've worked this hard in a long time. Uh, I wasn't like I was coasting with the Doobie Brothers. I wasn't, but I knew my parts. I could go up there and play and had a great time. And now it's like, okay, so Scott sends me a bunch of songs we're going to go over. And we've been doing like, I think the day we did 9 songs, but the first 2 days we did 11 songs and we did 10 the day before.
Wow.
So
Wow.
we don't know every one of them, but this is a request tour, Little Feat by request.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No, that's
So that makes it different. If we were just coming up with a set, we'd pick 17 to 20 songs and go, okay, let's learn these.
Right.
But people are saying, hey, can you play, Got No Shadow, let's say.
Fat Man in a Bathtub.
Yeah, and I go, Got No Shadow. Did I sing it? No, Lowell sang it. Wow, okay. It's that kind of thing. So it's not. What I've been calling this, Aaron and everyone, is Little Feat's third act.
Okay.
If you think of the first act being Feats Don't Fail Me Now, which was in Baltimore in the Maryland area, Hunts
Mhm.
Valley, when we did that Feats Don't Fail Me Now record, that to me was the first act. The second act was Let It Roll. This is the third one. What they all have in common is we were coming out of a situation where we were reforming the band in some form to carry on. We had broken up for that. Law was down in New Orleans working with Robert Palmer and did Sneaking Sally Through the Alley with the Meters. And everybody thought it was Little Feat. But I go, no, it's the Meters. And we wound up playing with in Hunt Valley with Robert Palmer,
Wow.
and that was really cool. So we finally did get on a Robert record.
No, I was curious too. Is there? I imagine there is. Is there new music in the works? Because I saw, you just Little Feat just released a single recently.
We did. It's called When All Boats Rise, and but the short answer is yes. There's a lot of stuff
Okay.
that's being considered for material in the future to record. I've written 20 songs with Robert Hunter, for example,
Oh my gosh.
and I've got other stuff. I was just looking at the New York Times last night, and I saw another one of my writing partners, Paul Muldoon, was just an editor and had some commentary at the front of Paul McCartney's book, which is about lyrics. So Paul's somebody I've written. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning poet. We've written probably 8 or 9 songs, and I
Wow.
should get in touch with him to let him know
No,
we're going to be in and around the area.
the ones you're talking about writing like 20 songs with Robert Hunter, none of those have ever come to fruition yet. That's stuff you have.
Four of them were on a Rooster Rag album, and that title Rooster Rag was one of those 4 songs.
Okay.
That leaves another 16 that nobody's ever heard.
Wow.
I think I could at least grab 1 or 2 out of that for a Little Feat record. And I've been writing with. Do you guys know Blackberry Smoke, Charlie Starr in that group?
Oh yeah,
Yes,
very well.
yes.
But Charlie and I, we've written 2 songs now. I've written one with John Leventhal, who's married to Roseanne Cash. He's a good friend. So we're just doing all kinds of. We meaning me. I'm doing a lot of stretching out here, but I'm encouraging everybody in the band to write. And Tony Leone and I have started a couple tunes, and so yeah. But we've got a lot of miles to go before we come to that juncture. But we're going to probably have 2 to 3 records worth of music by the time we're ready to record.
Oh, that's
Wow.
super exciting. Tony is well known to us in this room, like just mainly because of the Chris Robinson Brotherhood. We were all huge fans of that
Right.
thing. And when we heard that he was a part of this, it was really exciting for us. That's like,
Oh,
mixing of.
I'll tell him because he, God, well then I mean he's just a really knowledgeable human being. On top of being just a great drummer and knowledgeable about that as well.
Right.
But he was telling me, he says, I've been studying Richie Hayward since I was 12 years old. I go, how old are you now? This is, I guess last year he was 51, so he's 52, I guess. And I thought, wow. But he really does, he's making this thing, which anybody should do. You can't replace Richie Hayward, You can't replace Paul Brer. You can't replace Lowell George.
Right.
How is it still Little Feat? Why are we not a tribute band? Well, it's because our music, first and foremost, is just this detail of devils and snakes and roses and wasp that when you start to dig into it, everybody I've ever talked to that's ever played our music, guys go, well, it's a lot. And I go, harder than you thought? And they went, yeah. Well, we're not there to fool anybody. It's just that there are a lot of details in this music. So what we're doing with Scott and Tony and with ourselves too, it's sort of like reminiscent of Let It Roll before we formed that band. We're sitting around, we're going, deck the halls with bells of holly. Now, where's it go after that? We then listen to a version of something, and the guys go, "Oh, we were listening to this other thing." We go, "Okay, well that's cool. This is where this meets," but we took it off, and then other things we go back to the. I think with Sailing Shoes is let's go back to more of the original thing, which is more of a bluesy type of interpretation of that tune. That's where we started with it, and it's just a lot of smiles up there playing music with these guys. It's obvious that it's a band. I'm 72. I've been in band since I was 15 years old.
Wow.
And I know what a band is.
Yeah.
You know,
This is a band.
Bill, in reading your bio, it's really evident that I don't think you could have done anything else. I mean, you are an artist in all sense of the word. You're a photographer, you're a musician. This is putting out your feeling, and what you see in the world is seems to be part and parcel with who you are. And there's a line in your bio that I wanted to ask you about. That you said that art is the highest expression of what it means to be human. And I'm curious what you meant by that.
Well, I think that how we express ourselves in life, is not always through art. I mean, other people do it other ways, but what you're trying to convey to other people um, is in fact who we all are. How do we connect with one another? That's why we live in such strange times. I don't know how to connect with certain people in this atmosphere. I don't get where they're coming from.
Yeah.
How can you sit there and block people from voting, for example? How can you say something is green when it's red?
Mm.
I don't get it, but I'm not going to give up. I can give up on them perhaps, but I'm not going to give up as a human being, which is that I was thinking about it this morning. I'm like, I go, I'm not stupid. I'm ignorant of things. That comes with the territory.
Right.
But being ignorant doesn't mean you have to remain so.
Mm.
So when you're exploring what's there, whether it's music or a story, or you're reading things, do you believe the New York Times, or do you believe some blog that some guy wrote? Do I believe Eugene Robinson, or do I believe some kook on the Fox News network, which I tune in every now and then to see just what nonsense is being spilled about out there. I come being at age 72, I was around when Richard Nixon was promulgating the war in Vietnam,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to go down there. I had some friends that went. They said, "Whatever you do, don't come down here." So it was just we've been through some rough times, but I can't recall a more strange or disconnected time than what we're in now.
I
Yes.
100%. I'm turning 50 this year, and so I'm lived a little bit long enough now to have seen cycles happen, where I've seen things come and go and then come back again. And
Right.
I can only imagine, in the breadth and depth of your career and just life living on the planet, that you've seen these cycles happen before. But you just said something that's kind of new to me, is like, you've never felt like things were this weird before.
That's right. I mean, they could have felt weird when we're watching Vietnam, Nixon.
Yeah.
In 1968, we lost Martin Luther King, Robert Kennedy. that was intense. It was scary. There were riots going on. So yeah, there was a lot of bad things happening.
Mhm.
And it followed Woodstock, which was what, in '67, or was that a little later?
I think it was 68.
68.
Yeah.
All right. So right on the heels, or either way you want to look at it, you're coming either into or out of Woodstock,
Hmm.
and you got two major assassinations that just took place. So when I was in LA, I called it in 1969 Summer of Love, which was not the Summer of Love from '66 or whatever that was, but Summer of Lust and Love. I put that in Lust and Love,
Okay.
Murder and Men on the Moon,
Mm.
and that was some strange times. I mean, having Terry Melcher talking to him in Lowell's living room, and Terry's off to Europe the next day. And the next day or the day after, I don't know the timing exactly, but that's when the LaBianca family was murdered, and very shortly thereafter, Sharon Tate and the people that were murdered at
Mm.
that house. Um, and it was happened because Charles Manson did not get a record deal.
With the Beach Boys. Yeah.
Gee, really? Wow.
Wow.
What
Mhm.
would he have done if he'd gotten a record deal? I mean, it's just like, that's nuts. But those are isolated little incidents.
Yes.
This is like a full on. Everybody's been given a dose of STP, which was 10 times stronger or 100 times stronger than LSD, and we're all just looking at something and go, here's a bottle of water here. No, it's not. It's a fucking giraffe. It's what is it?
And then you'll get
That's
people
what I
that will
don't get.
agree that it's a giraffe too. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's a giraffe.
That's
That's
a
not a
giraffe. I
bottle of
see
water."
it.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's what's odd.
it is odd. And so this song, When All Boats Rise, I had people that going, it's a new tune, and Tom Garnsey and I wrote it, and Tom's a dear friend from Montana, and et cetera, so on. But a couple of people were going, no, I don't even have a boat. I go, no, it's not about you having a boat. It's aspirational, like liberty and justice for all. We aspire to it. We don't have it. We want it.
It's
So
a metaphor.
just relax a little bit. It's okay, guys. I'm not trying to put you into a boat or put you into a lifeboat, have you go over Niagara Falls. But if you want to, go ahead. I just what I'm enjoying is the process of what I went through today, which is worrying about music,
Right.
and we know the other stuff is there. You can't escape it,
Nope.
but it is a part of being human, which is the original thing you were talking about. How
Mhm.
does art and being human connect? It connects through all the senses. It connects for how inquisitive we are. Are we inquisitive just about the arts? Uh, and does that include food, for example? Um, you know, when you're in New Orleans, which we just were, you have a bite of redfish. Does that resonate with you? All that stuff, man. I mean, it's just being open to life. And then what you're open to, you try and give back. And for those that want to check it out, go ahead. But we're in a cycle all the time of influences. We're either influencing others or being influenced by them. And so how we share those influences is what the fun and the terror of art is.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the at least as a music fan, not a musician, that's the thing that keeps us going back is that terror and that joy that we get when we're experiencing what you're putting out into the world. And you mentioned something a few minutes ago about connection, and I think that is where we find that missing connection that's so badly lacking right now, is in those moments when we're engaged in hearing something together or seeing something or tasting something, those moments of
Experience.
visceral experience. That's when we find the connection.
That's right. Yeah, it connects all of us, and or most of us, I should say.
Yeah.
Even those that we would not agree with one thing they say, or vice versa with us, but we can agree that when you put on a Little Richard record, there's an energy there and a kineticism that is just, unless you're, unless you're just not there, um, that's going to move you.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I mean, you look at a 57 Chevy and go, wow, that's cool. Maybe
Mhm.
America's not that bad.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
There's good and bad in everything. I think it's
Yeah, man, here it is.
perspective, man. It really is at this point. It's tough. And having a career that's as successful as yours and as long as yours, you've seen a lot come and go, and you've had a lot of experience in doing what you're doing. And I just want to know, like, going back into the studio and playing Little Feat music for you, is it cathartic in any kind of a way to get in there and start playing Little Feat music again, and like doing the thing that you started doing when you were 15 or however old years
Well, I
old?
was 20 years old when I jumped into Little Feat,
Okay.
1969.
Okay.
And the answer is an overwhelming yes. Um, we're it's like when you hear a record or um, a music, it takes you back to a certain point. Not all the time, but if it was some cool thing in your life, or maybe a traumatic thing, but it takes you back to that moment, right?
Mhm.
And that's kind of what I felt like today.
Aw.
That's why I had such a big smile on my face. I was just bursting out laughing
So cool.
and pointing at Sherrod or looking at Fred and going, oh my God, man, Tony and Kenny. It was just so much fun to be in that room playing and figuring out music. And then when we were just playing it, when we didn't have to figure something out, just playing it, the energy is just, it's palatable. I mean, it's right there. You cannot fake that kind of thing. It's either
Mm-mm.
there or it's not. And I can't wait to share it with everybody. Before I was telling people, I can't wait to see the smiles on people's face when we actually play for the first time. And
Wow.
it was, and there it is. I'm one of the guys smiling, just having a ball.
You made yourself
I might as well be 18 years old or 20 years old instead of 72. I don't know.
That's the great thing about music. It makes you feel young again. I know for us and for everybody in the world, with everything that happened, being locked down, we never felt so. We were able to start going to shows again end of July.
Right.
We're up in Portland, Oregon, and shows started happening, and it was I mean, it is medicine. It's like we've got our medicine back. It's the fountain of youth. When we're at shows dancing, we look and feel, like we're 18, 20 again. Everything else is out the window except for that music.
Are you guys in Portland, Oregon right now?
Yeah.
Yes, we
Mhm.
are.
Oh, good, man. I love that city. I'm a huge Pal's bookstore person.
Oh,
right
yeah,
Yes.
we're 10 minutes from there.
I mean, gosh, I've come in that city with on a tour, and they go, "Well, we're just going to the hotel." And I go, "I'm jumping out right now. And I'll see you. Just get my luggage up my room." And I'd run over to Pal's.
You could get
And
lost in that place in the bowels of
I
power.
mean, I've got a Kindle, so I have to do what's practical. In the old days, I would carry on a bag of books that was 25 pounds. So, but I was just there, and I went over to Pal's and I bought 2 or 3 things and looked around. I get their little newsletter and stuff. It is a wonderful city. There's a lot of good stuff there, and obviously there's things all over where adjustments are being made, and I don't know what the answers are to any of it. With
No, me either.
they have
No.
homes that don't have homes, and, the street culture
Yeah.
that's not just there, but in a lot of cities right now. It's a little tough.
It's very tough. And you mentioned, having a bag of books with you. I'm curious, Bill, what kind of stuff do you like to read?
Well, I'll tell you one of the books I just started, and I had to leave it at home because I had, as I was packing up, I had too many things. One of the pebbles, and it is a book on Robert E. Lee, but it's by a guy named what's it Guels? No, sir. I should look it up. Anyway, he's a Lincoln historian, so he's not like he's not. He wrote a book about um, the Civil War specifically. I'll tell you who this guy is. He's got a 3-letter name too. And, oh man, but all right. Well, anyway, what I'm also reading, I'll bypass that one for a second. It's the latest book of Robert E. Lee.
Okay.
But last night I was reading um, about both Wayne Shorter in a book on him, a biography on Wayne, and I've got another book on John Coltrane that I've been reading too. I don't normally read music books, but in this case, I really want to kind of dive into a couple things with those two, and where they intersected with Miles Davis, for example.
Okay.
Beyond that, there's a book uh, written by this author who wrote The Boys in the Boat, which is I think about the 1932 Olympics, and it's called Facing the Mountain. It's about all the Japanese internment camps
Oh, yeah.
and the people that were in, their parents that were in those camps, those young men and women that went over to Europe to fight the war.
So you like the history stuff. Do you use the history stuff to write music? Do you pull from that?
I like to pull from it as a foundation to write from. In other words, the great events that we all lived through, they inform us as to who we are, as to how we react to what we're going through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm writing "Oh Atlanta, I got to get back to you," it's fluff. It's admittedly so, but that's part of it too. I mean, what's that line? Don't go for the cotton candy with Steely Dan.
Yeah.
Well, every now and then you're going to have some cotton candy. It's okay. If you live on it, you're going to die by it. So it's having a perspective. Is for me what history provides. I was at a party. I had a friend of mine, Jack Spencer, who's a fabulous photographer. He's also just an artist. I mean, like he works with wood. Um, like I said, his photography is amazing. But there were two people there that Jack knows. One was Emmylou Harris. And, okay, so Emmy and I are talking over some crackers or whatever, some dip or something. And I walked in the back room, and there was a guy named John Meacham, who's an author. And John has written about John Lewis, for example. He was telling me about. I told him I saw this for George Herbert Walker Bush, his funeral. He read this elegy for George W.H. Bush, and and it was beautiful. And I told people, I said, whatever you thought of the Bush family or of the first Bush president, uh, it was a wonderful speech. And I told him that, and he says, I walked over to George, to GW. He goes, "Yeah, that's pretty good." One of those kind of,
That's a good impression.
well, John does a great one, but still, it was just he said he's a really, really bright man. And, it was just fun to talk to he and his wife about same stuff we're talking about now, man. What is it?
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation, right? I mean,
Exactly. So where are you right now?
I'm in Long Island, Farmington. Is that what they call this place? I think it's Farmington.
So you're in 4 days, you guys start the tour at the Capitol Theater?
Yeah, and we've got 3 days of rehearsal, so we're gonna have 6 days, and then boom, we're in. And I said, so I used the word terror again. I said, joy and terror. Just take a look at my face. You're gonna see a mixture of both, the first show at least.
Bill, the Capitol Theater is, I mean, in our world is iconic. I mean, in any world is iconic.
Yeah,
That
sure is.
theater, that room has seen some of the greatest shows of all time, and what a wonderful place to be kicking off the tour.
Yeah, it sets the bar very, very high, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going out next year and playing Waiting for Columbus is another high bar. And I just feel like this is what we need to do.
Mm.
You can't just wade into that pool. You have to dive in to the deep end, avoid the rocks, swim faster than the piranha can bite your heels, and make it to the other side and see who's with you. So I like that challenge. I just think it's gonna be fun, and um, I just love putting it on the line like that.
Bill, what would you say gave you your zest for life? Because it just seems like you're fearless when it comes to your art and expressing yourself. And maybe I'm way off, but it just seems like regardless of how you feel internally, you're going to do it. So do you recall what sparked that, or was that just intrinsic in you?
I think that it part of it's intrinsic, of course. A healthy disrespect for authority sometimes, which I've had. Um, I don't. If people says, "Well, do this because this says so," or "This book says so," I'm like, really? Now, Bill, okay, don't worry about it. I'll do it, and I don't do it. Um, so there's, yeah, I go to the doctor. I cut my hand when I was a kid. I was surfing, and I go to the doctor, and he goes, I said, "You stitches, man. You were within a millimeter of losing the use of your left hand." I go, "Okay. When can I go surfing again?" He goes, "I would wait 2 weeks." So I went back to my parents, and they go, "What did the doctor tell you?" Nowadays we'd go with our kids, right? But then it was like, we believe in these doctors. What did he tell you? He said I can go surfing. So I went out and surfed for 2 weeks, and I came back, and the guy goes, "It looks amazingly well." I said, "Well, when can I go out in the water again?" He goes, "Oh, I'd wait another 2 weeks." I go, "Okay, thank you. See ya." That's what I'm talking about. You know, um, I'm my wife. I met my wife Polly when I was 16 and she was 34, and so I'm 72. She's 46. She's a wonderful person. She gives me support on every level, man. I mean, um, I didn't talk to her all day, and I said, "Hey, I got a Zoom meeting coming in about 10 minutes." She goes, "That's cool. Just when you're done, get dinner, get your dinner set up, and then get in touch." I go, "Cool."
What a
Heck yeah.
sweetheart.
I know, and she is. She's smarter than I am, thankfully. And but we're a good team. We've got this little cat named Albus, as in Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He's a magical cat. And I'm allergic to cats, but I just love this little guy. And when I was in France and going through the airport, and it was just chaotic because in France they have these riots every year.
Okay.
And if they're not riots, they're just people protesting. And it was at the airport. It was where I had to go to check in. And I was flying business class. So once I figured out how to tell the guy in one of the coats that would say, "Well, they'll stop soon. Don't worry." And I go, "No, they're not going to stop soon. How do you know that when they're going to stop?" And I said, "By the way, I'm flying business class." He goes, "Oh, follow me," and got me checked in. But there was utter chaos at the airport. And I'm walking around. I'm going, "Albus, just stick with me, buddy. We'll make it through this." I'm channeling my little cat back in America, thinking, because he makes me smile.
Handling the inner feline. Yes.
Yeah, something. I don't know what it was.
So, Bill, you guys are going from the 11th of November, and then you have a month off in there somewhere, but you're going all the way till April. Is that
Yeah, we're
correct?
going beyond that. And when I left the Doobie Brothers, that opened up our schedule. So we're looking at dates that are oh, we're going to Jamaica. We've got dates in the United States before that. Um, I think April's. I don't know what's going on in April, but I think we've got something happening in March for sure. We're playing, and we got dates that will probably start to sprinkle in for the summer and the fall.
Wow.
We won't be gone all the time, which is good, but we're going to be playing a lot of shows.
I think I want to come to
Yeah.
Jamaica and see you play. I think that sounds like
That would
fun.
be, oh my gosh.
It's a blast, man. It's probably our 20th year down there, and it's going to be about as safe as you can be. You got to show proof of vaccination. You got to do a PCR test before you go down. Exactly what I had to do to go to France, by the way,
Right.
and what I had to do to come back into the United States. So it's just a level of it takes away some of these people's view of freedom, but the view of freedom is I mean, hypoxia or whatever the heck, I can't even pronounce it, but hoping that you're not going to get infected, then
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic
Is incredible. Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
that's your prerogative, I guess. But you're gumming up the works by doing that, and you're not going to go to Europe, and you're not going to get into half the restaurants in New Orleans pulling that crap
Yeah.
because they want to see proof of vaccination in New Orleans.
So if I'm going to eat in New Orleans, where do I want to go, Bill?
It's called cochon, Cochon. It's the pig, and Richard Fernandez, whose brother is Charlie, who works with Charlie Fernandez is working with Jimmy Buffett. The
Okay.
Fernandez brothers, right?
Right.
So Richard worked with Tom Petty for a very long time, but he was out on this one tour with the Doobie Brothers, and I think Steely Dan. I think he was working with Donald Fagen, and I was questioning him about New Orleans food, and he says, "Go there. Brightson's is another place. So
So
if you get over there, it's in the Garden District, I believe."
so what am I gonna be eating when I go to Cochon? Is
I would order the redfish, which is cooked in a pizza oven.
Ooh,
It is just flawless.
okay. All right.
Flawless.
So before we go, I want to ask you, it's kind of a silly question. Just it's something that I was thinking before we called you, and you know, I'm terrible, like internally, at taking compliments from people. Outwardly, I don't feel like I am, and I'm just wondering, when you hear somebody like Elton John say that you are the greatest living rock and roll piano player and blues musician, what does that make you feel like? Like, can you accept that? How does that make you feel?
I think usually I say it makes me feel humble, but I don't think humble covers it. It's something like that can actually hurt you if you're not careful
Mhm.
because of expectations and
Yeah.
everything else. But
Okay.
I kind of look at it like, you know, I accept the compliment. I know Davy Johnstone and his band, and you know, I knew a couple of the players that used to play with him, and uh, we're all musicians, right? At this juncture,
Mhm.
and so it's best just to say thank you, and don't make too much out of it. Don't make too little. Just take it for what it is. It's a compliment. Somebody says, "Hey, man, you're sounding good," and that's cool. And I walked up to Leon Russell one time. It was at the end of a tour in Australia, sitting in a van. We'd just been touring with him. I never actually said anything to him. I walked up to him. I said, "I play with Little Feet. I'm Bill Payne. I play keyboards. I just want to thank you for the very early influence you had on me within Little Feet, both as a pianist and as a singer." And he said, "That's cool, Bill. Thanks," or something to that. He was very nice about it. I thought that's the right attitude to have, and I had the same attitude a long, long time before. But I'll share this with you. When I've told this story many times, but we were playing in Amsterdam, and the Rolling Stones were there en masse to hear us play. And after the concert, went downstairs. I saw Keith Richards, and it was like, "Oh, Keith!" Oh, I was going crazy. And he put his arm around me, pulled him in. He says, "Oh, mate, we're all a part of the same cloth."
Oh
And
wow.
his thing was like, "Welcome to the club, brother." And I thought, if this guy is telling me I'm a part of the club, then I must be okay. And when I read his biography, he said the same thing about being in a dressing room with Muddy Waters and Little Richard, might have been one other person. And he thought, if I'm with the Cats, in this dressing room, and I'm here to play. I must be one of the cats too. That's what he was sharing with me.
Wow.
That's
And I've shared it with other people too. They're going, well, I may never tour, or I may never get around the world and do all this stuff. I said, it ain't about that. You're a part of a club that, as Groucho Marx used to say, you never join as a member because you wouldn't be accepted, right? I would never join a club that would accept me as a member, was his line.
Yes.
But we are indeed a part of a pretty big and expensive club. It's of being a musician. It's not about pop star. When people go, you're a star, I'm a pop star. I go, if you want to think of me as a pop star, go ahead. I mean, I'm a musician. That's what I am. But if the other thing makes you feel better, I'm not going to get in your way. I know who I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I accept it, and I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for being able to converse with you guys, for whomever is listening to this. It's a privilege. That's what it is.
We feel like that too, Bill. Like, honestly, you don't need me to blow smoke up your ass, but it's really seriously an honor for us to have you on the show with everything that you've done. And I've listened to your music basically my whole life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's
With or without knowing it.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to add in earlier today. I'm 52. My father's almost 80. He listens to our podcast once in a while. He doesn't know a lot of the jam band scene, but when I told him we were interviewing you today, he reminded me, he was like, that man is very involved in music. And he started rattling off because he's very 70. He was like all his heroines. Carly Simon's. He was like telling his 52-year-old son, you behave yourself and you listen to Bill. This was played in our house growing up all through the 70s and 80s and all, so I just thank you on behalf of my father and me. You're part of the soundtrack of our lives. And and now to meet you, you're just such a smile.
Well, thank you, man. It's a pleasure, man. Please tell your dad thanks too, because
absolutely,
I'm 8 years away from being 80, and I got to say that I've always felt like those people were my heroes because they've lived a life, they're still living it, and that's all we have. I mean,
yes.
We just bought, like Barrera and I used to talk about, Paul Barrera, God rest his soul. You bob till you drop.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you do. And if you're lucky, you do it. And he was lucky and he did it.
Oh,
Yes.
Well, you know what, Bill?
Right
We from the three of us, we wish you nothing but the best with this tour that's getting ready to happen. And
it seems like it brought out some kind of just joy in you when you were talking about it, and for you to still feel that after an entire lifetime of playing music and feeling it again for the first time.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. It's so beautiful to see that.
Oh, thank you. I just, we don't know what curves or anything else that life throws us, but playing the piano, I don't know. I just started playing, and I had a great teacher who allowed me to play by ear, as well as to read music, to read Bach, Beethoven, etc. And it really set me on this path that was unimaginable to me. And when it became imaginable, it was about when I met Lowell. And we say, oh, we're not going to be a household name, but let's see what we can do with the musical community. Can we reach them, and can they reach us? Of course, they reached us, because that's what we're here to play. That's why our music is so eclectic.
Very, yeah.
You're listening to John Coltrane, you're listening to Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Chester Burnett, Dr. John, Mac Rabenak, it's just the connection between things is a lot of what Lowell and I used to talk about. And that's what we've been talking about this afternoon for you guys. So
yeah,
it's all very cool.
Cannot wait to see it. And if you come out the Portland way, let us know, man. And
we will be out there. Don't you worry.
Yeah,
all right,
we will
Bill.
be rocking.
It's been a pleasure. My friend. You take care of yourself.
Thank you so much.
You guys too. Much love to you all. Take care.
Take care, Bill. Bye-bye.
stand there drinking, paces the hall. Speaking for me, I can't speak at all. Sunrise breaks in daylight, counts the time. Jesus falling down, you tumble right. When all boats rise, we will find another pathway. When all boats rise, we will shine like stars above. When all boats rise, we can ride the silver skyway. There'll be a better day. When all boats rise. Another tale goes left untold. Another song left unsung. Another ladder to the stars, put on every rung. They tell me don't waste your breath, waiting for clear skies. Speaking for me, I'm ready for the day when all boats rise. I've written letters to friends I'll never see. Their faces shaded by the way things used to be. Freedom scrawled on sand, washed by the sea. Somewhere, someone stands there, so amazed. Down here, we're all friends with glasses raised. When all boats rise, we will find another pathway. When all boats rise, we will shine like stars above. When all boats rise, we can ride the silver skyway. There'll be a better day. When all boats rise. Another sign of the heavens that hope is not lost. Another whispered prayer says the river must be crossed. No more wasting your time. Lift your heart to the skies. Never have to die 1,000 deaths. Waiting, 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 waiting for the boats to rise. When all boats rise, we will find another pathway. When all boats rise, we will shine like stars above. When all boats rise, we can ride the silver skyway. That day is coming soon. When all boats rise. That day is coming soon. When all boats rise. When all boats rise.
And that is Bill Payne, everybody. What do you think? Hey,
I
now.
think it was amazing.
Pretty awe-inspiring, the depth that he's willing to go to in his life for his art.
And you talk about somebody that's played with everyone. Like, I mean, he's been around forever, and his piano keyboard skills are just amazing.
His just easygoing way of explaining his art form and what he does, and just his energy, his vibe was cool and good, and so knowledgeable and strong and teaching and wise and fun and young and like all of it.
Yeah. I only hope that when I'm in my 70s, he's in his 70s, right?
I mean,
that I have that much on the ball and that much energy and be able to have a,
and that spirit of like just fucking jump head first into it.
Yep.
Just do it.
Yeah. So far out, right on, an icon of American music on No Simple Road.
I'm proud of that.
Me too, man.
I feel like, and in the future, like maybe some professor can like refer to our show to get an in-depth interview with so-and-so artist.
So like if you were in college and you were doing a master's thesis on American music in the 2020s, you could refer back to
during
No Simple
the
Road.
pandemic,
Oh
right?
shit, yeah.
How was music affected during the pandemic? And there's an entire catalog of different types of musicians that were all not the same kind of genre. This is all spanning all kinds of stuff. How did it affect them? How did it affect us? That was an offshoot of the music scene.
Damn, you're right. Yeah, we did like capture a time.
We did,
Yeah.
and still are. We're still in it. We're still living in it.
Yeah.
So this is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. Is like, that was an excellent interview. He talked about he's so fresh about things, but also when he recalls things, it also seems not too far ago.
Right.
Like it doesn't seem like ancient times. It sounds like he's talking about yesterday. And so he just sounds always very present is what my point is, which is a strange way to describe somebody who's talking about
The past.
the past.
Well, it also has a lot to do with legacy. Legacy is a huge part of that. Like, Bill has left an indelible mark on music, period. Not just American music, but just music. And then to distill that down a little bit or a lot, this No Simple Road has made a mark for this period in time in talking with musicians during a time that we don't have any precedent for.
No.
Like, this has never happened before.
It's unfolding literally step by step before
yeah,
our eyes.
and even though that everybody or a lot of bands are back out on the road and we're back to shows and all that, things still haven't it's not completely shaken out yet how things are going to be. And so we're still in transition, and we're getting to talk to these people in the midst of the transition phase in real time.
Yeah. And that this was an inspiration to have somebody like Bill with his legacy and everything. He was so excited, as you heard, about pulling, because he's only an original member that's in Little Feat now, but he pulled this band together with Tony Leone on drums and stuff, and he said it was so exciting playing with these guys, and now they're out on the road and they're going hard.
Yeah, 60 dates is nothing to sneeze at, man.
Yeah, all through 2022, and they've already they just played the Capitol Theater, and they've already played a few dates.
I just think of us after like 2 festivals and a show here at home, and like we're tired.
Yeah,
and they're going for it, and that's dope, man. I have so much respect for that. Like, that's especially at over 50. Like, like even Trey, Bobby.
I mean, that lifestyle's hard, period. So when you do add age, and then as you get older, you get your comforts, things that you want to have around you, and things that you need to fall asleep or whatever.
I better have my Chemex in the morning.
You know what I'm saying? So like, there's a lot to it, and despite that, he's still doing it and not complaining one little bit. Was excited about it. Just he's a champion.
Yeah,
that's
man.
what it feels. That seems like a proper word. He's a champion.
Yeah, and again, thanks, Bill, for hanging out with us. And hey now, No Simple Road family, thanks for hanging out with us after the interview too. We're happy that you're here. Hey, how you doing?
Happy, joy.
Hope you have a good time.
Welcome to the back part of the show.
It's like the secret song at the end of the Tool album that you just let spin. Wow.
I hear the cry of the carrots.
If you play that and fast forward something.
It'll say, "My sweet Satan."
You do something. It's gonna say something.
Yeah. Anyway, man, it's the holidays, everybody. How's it going?
It is the holidays.
Are you navigating the labyrinth of holiday fun and frolic? Are you? I don't know, man. This year, more than any other year that I've been alive, feels really fucking weird this holiday season. It does not feel like Christmas time. And I think for me, the reason that it feels like that is because I'm really excited about New Year's Eve. So it's like I have to get past Christmas to get to New Year's.
It's just a speed bump on the way.
Yeah, it's a speed bump on the way to MSG.
Dang, that's not like you, because usually you hate New Year's. Like, that is one thing. Ever since we've been together, we don't really celebrate it. We've gone out a few times. Like, it's not a thing.
New Year's is okay.
Or it hadn't been. I should say it hadn't been a thing, through most of our marriage.
Do you guys think, because I'm kind of the same way, other than like freshly out of high school, I think that it has something to do with growing up in Vegas. I was not I remember going down to the Strip and stuff. I did that a few times when I was younger.
So I was there.
It was just such a heinous alcohol fueled, people throwing bottles in the air, people getting
Were you
hurt.
there the year that we filmed it with my dad? Were you with me? And they were throwing champagne bottles up in the air?
Bottles and everything, and people getting hurt, and it's like dipshittery amateur hour every year in Vegas, and it just kind of put a bummer on it for me as I got older.
I understand that.
I just wanted to hang out with friends and have a low-key party and maybe make it to midnight.
When you have to work on the Strip, and that is what you're seeing all day long, like people in their 2000 and whatever glasses, and like the lady with the one heel on, one heel off, and like the
toilet paper on his shoe.
Just all kinds of craziness. Like, you just want to get home and get in your comfy jammies and go to sleep before anything happens. Like, but that's not usually what
for me
happens.
It's if I was a superhero, my kryptonite would be a really drunk person. Like, that would be the person that would take me down.
Vegas, you couldn't go to Vegas.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, as soon as I landed in Vegas, like flying, I would just start to shrivel up, and they could capture me and kill me. But drunk people would be my kryptonite. And like Apple said, growing up there, I saw like the most outlandish bullshit dipshittery you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And not just Vegas, but like New Year's Eve is all about drinking. It's champagne and like popping bottles and everybody cheers. And I've never been a drinker. So New Year's Eve was like the alcohol holiday.
Yeah.
And I was just like, who gives a fuck, man? Like, I don't want to be around a bunch of drunk people, first of all. Second, okay, it's New Year's and tomorrow's going to be the next number on the calendar. Like, but let me back the fuck up.
You're excited this year.
This year is a whole fucking different story, man. I am going to be...
Why is it a different story, babe?
I'm going to be with the person I love the absolute most on the whole planet.
Trey? I'm sorry, Mel.
Okay.
I'm glad Mel laughed harder than you. I was like, okay, I just got to throw that in there.
The other person that I love the most on the planet.
Melanie.
Yeah, Mel.
That's okay. If the tables were turned, he would have said Jasper.
Yeah,
that's right. True. Yes, that's true.
I'm going to be with John B. and Amy, and I'm going to be at MSG seeing Fish, and I've never done that. I've never been to a huge concert on New Year's. I've seen Railroad Earth on New Year's
And
Eve.
that was awesome.
It was fucking amazing.
It was incredible.
But it was in a little dank
Portland
venue. Spot.
Yeah.
I've never been to a big concert on New Year's. I've never been to New York City, and I'm down this year to be amongst the riffraff and just go for it. It's gonna be fucking fun. I'm gonna be one of the riffraff. So
yeah. Do you remember Riff Raff from
yes,
Heathcliff?
Heathcliff. What are you talking about?
Was it Heathcliff?
No, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
No. There was a cartoon,
character,
called Heathcliff. Yeah, Riff Raff. You know, he was
Yeah,
like the bad cat.
Was it?
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember the cartoon character. I don't remember which cartoon it was from.
Yeah.
So
There's lots of riffraffs.
So yeah, this year is different, and I'm really fucking excited. And
I'm excited too.
But let me back up. What I was saying is, it doesn't fucking feel like the holidays, man. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like my whole life, I have loved Christmas and Hanukkah. Like my family celebrated both, and it was just a fucking rad time. Like it was the one time growing up in Vegas that it wasn't 1,000,000 degrees outside. And I loved that. Sometimes there would even be clouds, which was amazing, you know.
And once in a rarity, there was a little bit of snow in Vegas.
Yep, or rain.
Christmas time.
The food and hanging out with family and just the whole Christmas Hanukkah thing, like it was dope. And then when I had my own family, I carried some of those traditions on with me into our own family. Like we all open up pajamas, one gift on Christmas Eve.
And that was, my mom used to do that too.
Yeah, and we all get pajamas. Like we carried that tradition on, and like having a Hanukkah bush or a Christmas tree in the house, and just all of it. I love it. And I don't know, man, like it's been difficult this year to like, I've had to make a concerted effort to do it this year.
You know, I have to say something. I feel like it's a transitional year because I feel like that too. And I'm realizing that all those things that you're talking about, to me, it was fun because of the kids. Kids always make things fun. When you have young kids, there's presents to buy, and it's good to be sneaky, and you're kind of keeping up. Are you going to still keep lying to them about Santa or not? Or
what are you talking about?
You know what I mean? Like if he's going to be only at your house or other people's houses. Okay. But there's
easy,
there's all these things that when you don't have kids around in your house all the time, you don't.
But we got Jazzy.
Yes, that's true.
We do have a 3-year-old coming to hang out with us for Christmas, and it's our grandson. Like,
but it's not the like Mel said, because I remember that was one of the joys of being family with you guys in Vegas and everything. Is I got my Christmas fix from coming over and hanging out with you guys and the kids, and with kids around, that's what it's all about, the excitement and everything.
And the kids are going to be around.
And even when we moved up here in 2016, Simon was 14. He was still, kind of more excited about it. We decorated more. And for me, the kind of things, because I do the Santa thing, and that's been, the kibosh is put on that right now. Who wants to take a picture with Santa with a mask on or something? Or it is weird.
Yeah.
It's hard to celebrate.
Yes. But if we don't do it to the degree that we want to, then we're not going to have it because of what you just said. It's harder. There's a little bit more barriers, and also people are, waking up to certain traditions and like questioning them, and why do we do this? Do we really need to do that? Like,
I told Mel yesterday, I said, we're going to start our own holiday. It's called Flounch. And it happens a couple times a year. It's like 3 days one time. I don't know, maybe 4 the next.
I love the general non-specifics of it, because I asked you when I came home, you told me this, and it's like, when is it? And you're like, whatever. There's 2 of them. Well, when's the other one? I don't know.
Yeah, when it happens.
You'll know when it happens.
Well, and you can wear what you want. You could dress up or not, but the colors of Flounch is green. And, other than that, like,
Wait, the colors of flounce are green.
And then you give gifts.
That's one color.
I know.
You give the same gifts that they already have that they've forgotten about. You re-give them to them.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go in your room and wrap an ashtray that's in there.
No,
and
you're
give it
not.
to
You're
you.
gonna just easily do this. You're gonna see something that they haven't been using and just immediately turn back around and give
What
it to them.
did you give me? Mel gave me a Lego Jerry Garcia that I had forgotten about that was downstairs as my flounce gift this year.
I didn't receive one. I think
then
maybe only one person
we all have
gets a
stuff
gift.
in the basement. Just go through one of our boxes, like give it something that's been in a box for 5 years since we've been up here, and be like, oh,
Aaron,
surprise.
well, nobody knows this yet, but part of flounce is taking a few hours of family time to go through stuff nobody wants to go through, so you can get rid of it in the new
I
year.
hate that part of flounce.
That's what, and it's going to be fun.
No,
We're going to
that's
have
kinda-
drinks. We're going to have
I kinda
music.
like that.
Drinks, music, and we're going to have to.
And if you have a big family, you have to rent a dumpster for one day.
That's my favorite part of flounce so far, because I have boxes downstairs that I'm not sure what to do with. Some of it's stuff from my mom, my grand.
We need help. We all need help
And
to deal with
out,
that.
like who should we give this to? Sydney probably like a few of the things. I know.
Flounce is already taking shape.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
This is my favorite thing about flounce.
and then hey, wait a minute. And then like you don't have to cook a big dinner.
You don't gotta do
tater
shit.
tots are the like quintessential flounce food.
What about flan? I think we should have flan at flounce.
It's already tater tots, dude. All right, you're trying to fucking
All right,
I think-
I'm sorry.
crowbar shit into my flounce.
I
You can't
think
do
the
that.
meals are kind of like the dates of flounce. It's like whatever you think of at the time is kind of
So-
when flounce happens.
We're being silly, but we're not. My point is, holiday. My whole thought process behind starting this ridiculous conversation is somebody fucking made up Christmas. Somebody made up all the holidays that we have now. I am a human being alive on the planet. I have just as much agency as anybody else to make shit up. Why can't I make up my own holiday and celebrate it 4 days out of the year and 3 days another time?
Festivus became a thing. The Festivus for the rest of us.
Was that from Seinfeld?
That was some Seinfeld, yeah.
One show I never watched. Flounce.
Flounce.
So no
It's got a
simple
nice ring
road
to it.
And
Flounce.
And it's not like Mary Flounce or like any of that. It's
No, it's
just
just
like
flounce.
It's just like right on.
Flounce.
That's the traditional flounce greeting. Right on.
Right on.
Right on. All right.
Flounce.
Right on.
So
All
yeah.
right.
Right. So right on.
Is there a flounce tree or bush or anything?
No, it's
A
actually
flounce stick.
It's when you
It's
when you water your plants.
that's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your house plants.
I like this. You guys working this. We need to make a
Yeah.
book.
If you wanna go the extra mile, you can put one Christmas light on a bush in front of your house.
Okay. All right. It's coming together
Yeah.
nicely.
And I think the next 3 days will be sometime around festival season.
Okay.
I think it might coincide. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Flounce might go down in the middle of a festival.
Yeah,
could.
I think it's jumping the shark a little bit, babe. Flounce just is.
Okay. It just is.
Okay.
Just is.
I like that. All right.
We're going to go with that right now. So my point, like I said, was that you too can make up your own holiday and celebrate it. And it sounds silly and it might feel weird at first, but all the best things that happen in life are like that. They sound silly. They feel weird at first and then they're not. And then they become a thing, you know?
Okay. Now that you threw that out there, I just got to say to all our listeners, family, friends out there, if you do create one, you got to tell us about it.
Yeah. That's a
You gotta
definite
call. You
tepid
got to
line.
call in, write in, whatever, however you want to communicate with us.
Tell us the
We wanna
rules of
know about
engagement
it.
for your
Yep.
festivals or your
Your
celebration. Yeah.
I think that it would be cool if every family had their own holiday.
Can Ryder be our holiday?
Wow. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Ryder's last name is
Holiday.
Yeah, it would be cool if every family had their own holiday, man. How rad would that be? Like,
That would be really. That's like a good project for your kids. Like, okay, guys. I mean, why not do it during this? You're gonna get together with like your nieces and nephews or whatever. Like, make up a thing that would sound cool. Like, okay, if you hate this boring party, what would be fun? Bring a trampoline in there. Or what would you want to eat? Pancakes? Then let's have pancakes. That's perfect. Like, I think it's get the kids involved, get their ideas. Maybe they want to do like finger painting. That'd be a fun flounce activity.
Like creating something new.
It's
tradition.
Here's the deal, man. We have all been conditioned our entire lives by society. And there's things that we just accept as they have to be that way. And
they don't.
They do not have to be like that. You are the author of your world. Like, you can do pretty much anything you want as long as you're not hurting somebody else. So why not?
If you start doing that, it's going to come back to you.
Right. And so why not take a little bit of that agency and creativity that you have and start to use it in your life and have a little fucking fun. Because let me tell you, man, we could all use more fun these days. Things are fucking weird, man.
The license plate that I was driving behind was 538 fun. Actually, I don't remember the numbers too much. I just made up the numbers.
Why are you lying, Mel?
Well, because it was like 534 or 538. I don't remember which one. But it was fun, and I took that as a sign. Like, even driving, have fucking fun.
I just want to say, I think the song for fun. I just stopped in to see what condition my condition was in. That'd be like a fun.
That's a traditional flounce
song.
Music. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to throw something in there because I wasn't involved completely in the creation.
Well, it's still being creative. So
St. Alfonso's pancake
it's
breakfast.
because you're too much of a mascot.
You're
tying
you
us
already
down
got
to
Christmas going,
crap.
buddy.
Damn. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go shave my head and beard real quick.
Only half.
That would be creepy.
So, I don't know. I'm just on a kick this year because of like what I said, man. It just feels weird, and I'm making like Mel said, it's a transition year, and we're reevaluating the traditions that we have in our house.
Yeah,
like typically,
that's what I mean.
Typically, we got a really big tree, and this year we got a little 4-footer, and
it's a
5-footer
because we
grew.
paid for a 5-footer, so it's definitely a 5-footer. It's so full and cute, and so the way that I see it is like we bought this beautiful like floral arrangement.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, beautiful plant.
My favorite though is like we started out like we got the one here. It's about 10 inches tall, and then there's the one that's about 2 feet tall, and now it's gone to a 5-footer. I feel like I'm gonna come home like like tomorrow, and Ryder's gonna be like, I got a 15-footer.
Next week there'll be a 25-footer in the front yard. It's the little tree, and moving to the other two, it's a physical representation of the amount of Christmas spirit in the house.
It's growing.
It's growing.
It's growing. Well, that's the important thing about all this is to have fun.
It
and
really
enjoy
is.
Each other.
I would agree with you so much, Aaron, because for our anniversary, I brought Aaron this cute little tiny miniature Christmas tree because he was saying that it didn't feel Christmassy in the house and stuff. So I brought him his own little Christmas tree. And then he came back from the store and brought me like a 2-foot little cute Christmas tree. And so Simon loved it and was like, let's do that tree. And so I was like, okay. So it kind of got commandeered by everybody. And then Aaron was like, it's too little. We need a serious tree. We need a real something to make it feel.
And the house smell good.
And you get the feels going. And, sometimes you concede for things that make you feel good.
Yeah.
Like.
I get it. I get it.
That's it.
100%.
And so, like, I feel like I'm still defining whatever our celebration
Winter
is.
festival.
Yeah, because, there's definitely something to celebrate. There's this immense change in the environment, and we also have such a reflective and transformative time during this time too. If you're inside, it's not even like hocus pocus or any kind of spiritual, but if you're inside, you're gonna pay attention to yourself more because you just you're not moving as much as you normally would.
Well, and also as human beings alive on the planet, we are part and parcel with the seasons and the changing of them.
Absolutely.
And having holidays around the changing of the seasons is like planting your flag as part of a human being on planet Earth that's part of nature.
Well, it's giving...
You're recognizing that things are ebbing and flowing in the world around you.
It's a more than a recognition. When you're celebrating something, you're like giving gratitude. You're putting it up on a pedestal. You're letting people know that this is important and that this is, you know, you're keeping it alive by continuously celebrating. And so I feel like, I don't know why, I just haven't had that, you know, Christmas spirit. And like my little Christmas heart is small like the Grinch's, but not like I'm mad at anybody or anything. It's just like that transition. I'm really trying to figure out what do I want to do with this? How do I want to celebrate so I feel good during this time?
I feel like
instead of doing what everybody's just always done.
I feel like having our family around us this year is the gift.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Especially after these last couple crazy years that we've had.
That's the gift.
Like the fact that Sydney and the baby and Adam are going to be home and Simon's home and we're all here. Like it's just so comforting to me.
Yeah.
And so with them this year and everybody, I want to be able to like kind of create our own thing going forward while we're here celebrating what is.
And you guys out there too, man, like, I don't know if hearing us talk about things feeling weird validates you. Like maybe you've been feeling like that and you haven't been able to put a point on it or name it. And us talking about it can maybe help you realize that that's what's going on. And
tease it out a little bit.
Yeah. And then you can, on the flip side of that, you can start to take back whatever this time of year means. If this time of year has traditionally been really difficult for you, and something that you didn't enjoy and that you like dreaded as it was coming up, because I know there's a lot of you out there that feel like that. There's a bunch of people I work with that are like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
You can flip the script on that shit, man. Like, it doesn't have to be about, I'm doing air quotes with my fingers, it doesn't have to be about Christmas or Hanukkah. It can be about whatever you want it to be. And you can change things around. We're not stuck when it comes to that shit. We are captains of our own ships and can create the things that we want. And like I said a little while ago, sometimes we just don't feel like we have permission or we don't think about it. Like it just doesn't ever occur to us that you can do something like that. But guess what? There's nobody fucking, mom and dad aren't here, man. You could do whatever you want. Like it's cool. So yeah. I don't know. And also I'm stoked this year too. We got such a cool Christmas gift for you guys.
Yeah, we do.
And I'm so terrible at keeping secrets. And I'm glad I only have to wait a couple of weeks to be able to give this gift to you guys out there. Every year we try and have somebody on the show that's important to us and to you guys. Yeah. And I had an idea for somebody, and Apple immediately threw out somebody else, and it seemed like a pretty far pitch, and it came through. And so
Santa magic.
It was the Santa magic.
Aaron was like,
Sprinkle
Apple, who would you want to have on the show for our Christmas present? And he was like, boom.
I was like, flabberderp.
And then when you see Christmas.
And then 2 days later.
It was like, boom.
We got flabberderp.
So we talked to that person the other day, and boy, was it wonderful. I can't wait for you guys to unwrap your gift. You're going to love it. Yeah. Anyway.
We got cool stuff building up to it too, and coming after that.
Like what?
We're just going to keep all kinds of good stuff coming up. Well, we already mentioned we got Karina Reichman.
We got Lone Tree next week.
We got Lone Tree, which is somebody you guys, if you don't know about them, you're
going
to find out soon.
Oh man, this is a band from
South Africa.
What
was South Africa? Kenya. They're in Kenya right now,
and they're all expats from the United States. Their parents are all working over there. I say their parents because the oldest person in the band is 17, maybe 18 at the oldest. The lead singer is 14,
and she just turned 15.
Yeah,
right around there.
She
we talked
did.
to him,
and this is like
Amazing.
Yeah, that's Dave Schools
You have to
is
wait till you hear
going to
it.
produce their stuff. So that's where that's at. They're freaking amazing. And they're going to be next week. We have
And sweethearts.
we have Karina Reichman coming up. We have another wonderful conversation with Jamel
Oh my gosh, that is so great.
about his
first Dead and Company show.
Who else do we got?
We got another check-in with Mojo Han.
That's right. Got Mojo
And
Han.
another check-in with the guys from
The Owsley Foundation.
Yeah.
Owsley Stanley Foundation.
So yeah, some really good stuff coming your way in the next few weeks, and I'm really excited about that. And it's been a hell of a week. I'm going to tell you guys something. We moved from Vegas to Portland, like Apple said a few minutes ago, like almost going on 5 years. And you know, Vegas is sunny year round, and moving up to Portland, like I love the rain. I'm one of those people that like when it's sunny too long, I get depressed, and if it's raining, I'm stoked. And the first few years we were up here, I heard people talk about seasonal affective disorder, and I was
we
like,
thought kind of like,
whatever.
Not me.
Mm-hmm. I love when it gets dark at 3 PM.
I'm only happy when it rains.
Exactly. And I do. I love when it's this time of year. I love when it gets dark early. It feels cozy. It's cool, man. But this year, over the past 2 weeks, I started noticing something was wrong, and I didn't know what it was. And I had no energy.
Like feeling almost like fluish or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It was achy and just tired all the time, and didn't want to go to shows, and didn't want to talk to anybody, and was having a hard time like even answering emails and focusing, and just I started thinking like maybe I had COVID again, or I was sick. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I don't remember what made me pull up the website, but there was a website that was talking about seasonal affective disorder, and it was like you should sit in front of a light, one of the lights, and I was like, I need to order one of those lights. And then I turned my head to the left, and I was like, oh shit, I got 4 lights in this room that are used for when we film that are those lights. And so the next morning I turned them on when I was getting dressed, and it was like somebody literally lifted the shades in my brain. I had energy again. I was excited about the day. I was in a great mood. I stayed up till 9 o'clock at night, which is like
party animal.
When you're waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock at night is late. So that, and just felt so much better. So I had never experienced that before until this year. And let me tell you, dude, the light is a fucking game changer. So yeah, this week has been all about feeling better, taking my vitamins, running more, sitting in front of the light every day, and hanging out with Mel.
Yeah, we've been having a good time.
Mm-hmm. What about you, babe?
I had an incredible week because I just finished working that crazy shifts that I was working right before Thanksgiving. And let me tell you, my body really is appreciating 2 days off in a row. I missed it so much. And so I'm going back to my normal schedule. So that really helped my overall energy level, because I was I think I definitely need it too, because I was feeling the same way that you were, not fluish or anything, not sick, but like just not wanting to do anything, and like just not excited about anything, and more of like the mood. It affected my mood, not necessarily like I wasn't like coughing or whatever, but yeah, I also got to spend time with some really, really great friends, and held a women's circle, and that was so impactful, and just I feel like it was life-changing to be able to do that with them. And then I've been talking to my this is the second week in a row that I talked to my therapist, and I feel like I feel like I've done 20 years of therapy in those 2 sessions.
Damn.
Like straight up.
because you're doing telemed,
Yeah.
and I can hear you. Like
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah,
sitting
no,
here listening, but
I
I
know,
can
babe.
hear.
I know the house talks.
And it sounds like you're talking to one of your friends. You're fucking cracking up the whole time, and like I thought you were talking to Tiffany or somebody on the phone.
No, it was Reed, my therapist, and he, there's like all these signposts about synchronicities I've been talking about on the show, and just talk about how synchronicity has become another language that I like watch for and look to for direction. And all the stuff that I talk about, like my yoga and like, any kind of spirituality stuff, Reed is right tapped into it. And it's not that he agrees with everything I say. It's that he just is in tune. He understands. And so there's a certain amount of backstory that I don't have to share or talk about. Like it cuts off so much of the getting to know you time.
The shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And he is very good at giving back positive reinforcement and feedback and like good thinking points. And somebody that's invaluable to me at this moment in time, because I'm like this young grandma, but I've already had this great career that I loved, and it's not over necessarily, but it's like not all that it is. And so it's like all this like lots of things are happening in my life that are very transitional, and I'm sure for lots of people out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm speaking about myself, and the way that it's happening to me is in this synchronicity vocabulary, and he speaks it. He's part of it. And that's some crazy shit I was like thinking about. I was like, okay, on my car ride to go Christmas shopping, I was like thinking, okay, so even if the computer picked this therapist for me based on my questionnaire, the things that I filled out, what are the chances that he's still the one that they pick for me?
The universe is still connected
Involved.
to everything that's happening in this reality.
I understand. So that's what I was saying. I was like, this is like literal like creation more than, oh, this is what's happening. I feel like this is, our past, present, and future selves. We're constantly helping ourselves.
Yeah.
Is what it feels like.
Wow.
He's helping me to realize that, like the power in all of the connections that we've made through the show. That was another thing that he said. He's like, and I don't mind sharing this, so I it's my session.
Yeah, you're allowed.
But
You've given yourself permission.
I'm giving myself permission. But he was like talking about like connections, and he's like, I just want to stop you just for a moment, because your connections are like off the charts. You're talking about people in your life, and then people that from the show, and then your family, and like all these connections, and they all kind of go together in these certain ways. You need to understand that you're not operating just on this plane anymore.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't, when we got BetterHelp as a sponsor,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm all for taking care of mental health. I think it's a great thing. And I just felt like, man, I don't really have anything I need to talk to anybody about right now. Like, and then listening to you do it, I was like, fuck, I need to do that.
Dude, I feel like as important when we were so fired up about Magnus, when we first started with Magnus, and we still love Magnus. We still talk to Magnus, not as regularly, but I feel like we've kind of, sometimes you need to like reset, regroup, right? With this, it's like he's doing the same thing, but for cleaning up all those little girl scars that I left in there from my mom. He's helping me to digest and like take the scab off nicely with me, and is like, listening to my story, acknowledging what has been said, and then like jokingly and like professionally laughing and kind of getting through it, and helping me figure out how I'm doing it right now and how it's affecting me, so that I can like change my mind, change my habits, change my like it's encouragement. And so I'm like holding like freaking these like shackles on my ankles from all this young stuff.
Dragging baggage.
But it's so easy. No, okay, I won't say it's easy. I don't mean that. It's so
obvious.
No. We can do this. It's doable. It's so doable to wrap it up, feel those feels, go through it, wrap it up with someone else's help. Like just holding a hand. It's so much easier just holding a hand. Like there's stuff that I just need to get off my chest that he just is like, yeah, perfect. Okay. And it just, I don't know. Maybe it's better help for sure for connecting me, but this connection that like the universe, him and me, he's helping me to like optimize myself.
Wow. That's a
talk about brain hack and life hack. This is a life hack for me.
Wow. Well, shit.
So that's what prompted the women's circle. And that shit was another freaking, that was the beginning of like, that's my foundation. Something that I
you have been in like just a better mood lately.
I was affected by that season. I'm saying it now that because you were talking about it, it was all my mood. It took away the spice of life for me.
Me too.
That's what it did.
Like just another
I didn't feel
day.
like dancing on my own. Like I would always go outside and dance, no matter if it was cold or hot and I just don't do that anymore. Like as much as music is my refuge, I wasn't listening to it and like
I know.
I don't know. I was like having like bland food every night. That's how it felt internally.
Dude, we have to take care of our heads, you guys, all of us. Like it's so fucking important. That's all we have at the end of the day is our mental state. Like that's it.
I know.
And if it gets fucked up and funky and we like are all funky and fucked up at the same time, like that's no bueno for the house and for these guys out there that are listening to us. And like,
well, you know what? I think I have to say I beg to differ because I think that we've proven time and again that working out our problems on the show is useful to somebody out there. When we talk about like when we come and we are kind of stank or quiet or whatever, the thing is disappointed, sad, whatever, like them hearing us be real in the moment is what is helpful. It's like you're able to like walk with somebody during that pain. Like when we're
doing the hand holding.
Yeah. And with like,
I get it.
And when we like had to like break down with your dad, redoing that episode and the intro and Sydney calling and like it feeling real, people were with us holding our hand and it helped them. So like we're not perfect and they're going to feel that and they love that is what I know from what they've said.
Yeah.
It's not what I think. It's what I know.
100%. Yep. You're right. About you, Apple.
Well, damn.
Yeah, follow that up, sucker.
The fucking elves are on strike. Rudolph got into my fucking edibles. Miss Claus has been missing for a while.
I know where she is.
Yeah, that's I gotta follow that. I had a good week.
That's you can always bring it up.
I mean, the highlight to me. I'll bring that up next. But like last Thursday, we went and saw our good friends Sago.
Oh,
the band Sago. We got to go see them play at the Douglas Fir, which was amazing to see them.
Incredible.
And see Tom and everybody, and have a little night out. It was a work night, like for all of us, so it wasn't a late night. It was fun just to get out and go down to Portland, go jump on the other side of the river and get out. And that's what I'm liking that we're doing more is
home.
Yeah. Now we're doing these little home shows. We got an awesome one coming up this weekend. We had on our calendar, we were supposed to be at Lettuce on Saturday night.
That was sad.
Yeah, and I guess that's like what you guys were just talking. Reminded it was Aaron wasn't feeling physically well, and I was just like mentally. I wasn't feeling great, but it was more mentally like I'm fine with staying home.
Yeah.
Type thing.
I
Wasn't
really
feeling great.
Wanted to go, but you know.
Yeah, but things happen, and we're back to that. Like talking to so many people, we're back to that sucky but great thing of. You can't make them all the time, but they are happening again. And like this weekend, we're going to go see Sponge with Bryce and the boys. They're going to be coming over here for an interview in person, which is going to be super fun.
That's going to be super fun.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. And then it's I looked it up today. It's at Hawthorne Hideout.
I've never even heard of
Hawthorne
that.
Hideaway or something like that. Yeah, so it's going to be another dank little, like, crossing over the river, getting out and doing our local Portland thing. Like what you guys were talking, we kind of brushed over that. Yeah, getting in the holiday season has been kind of tough. It helps me with my job working in cannabis. I work with a lot of cool, crazy stoners. And they're all younger, and they look up to me as like Santa and the grandpa leader of the shop and stuff. So I'm getting more into it. We decorated the other day, got the trees out, and it's just weird. It's weird celebrating and stuff, and like doing the Santa thing. I don't see myself doing that this year, other than like when
Jasper comes.
When Jasper's here to do the family pictures and stuff. And, like last year, I did it for a few people.
I'm so grateful for you for doing that.
And it's fun. I mean, God dang it, I'm saying once I put on that
I'm grateful for Santa still coming by our house.
It's fun. But no, I had a good week, and it's getting better heading towards the end of the year. I think that's the other thing too, is like this was better than 2020. 2021, because things are coming back and everything, but it still was a stinker. In a lot of ways.
There were high points.
I mean, especially the first half until we got to like July, there wasn't shit going on again. Thank God, like we always say, we have the show and we have all of you out there to help us continue to do this show.
We don't say that enough.
Relevant.
Thank you so much for listening and like making us have a reason to do this.
To be relevant, to want to keep going on, and to help us with all of our shit that's going on in our head. And it's been a hell of a year.
Yeah.
And this one's been a real mix of sweet and sour. Like and heading up to the end of it is always kind of weird. Like everybody lately, once you hit December, you start, it's like, whew, it's December. Wow. It's already the 7th. It's already the 8th. Time's going fast. And now we're coming down. We're closing out another year. And it's, I don't know, it's a trip.
It really
We're
is
ready
a trip.
to turn a new page and get into it. And I'm super excited for you guys going to New York and everything. I wish I was going to in a way, but then again, I'm also glad I'm staying home to be here and stuff.
Darwin's glad you're staying home too.
If we weren't going to New York, we'd be staying home also. We wouldn't be going out.
We talked about that today. We'd be in bed by 9:30 in our jammies.
I love it this year because it is a Friday night. So it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I am going to party. Bryce is happy. I'm going to hang out with Bryce. I'm going to be down in Eugene with the Sponge Boys at the Sponge House and partying in Eugene for the weekend.
Hell yeah. Right
and then
on.
also I'm looking very forward to Tool in January. That'll be my first show of January is going to be Tool down in Eugene. It's going to be the first date coming back on the tour, and I'm sure Maynard's got something to say. Coming back on the tour. So, but no, I'm looking, I think, like all of us, to, there's a lot of change going on. I love that you guys are inventing this flounch holiday.
Emphasis on ounce.
Flounch.
It's a lowercase f, and the rest of it's uppercase.
Okay.
Except for the
Flouch.
H. Yeah. That's a lowercase,
yeah,
too.
It's bookended by lowercase.
It's like flounch.
Yeah,
flounch.
Exactly. You got it.
So, no, I having a good time. And the thing I'm most excited about is what we do here is No Simple Road. Every weekend when we sit down with people, it's, like our special one's coming up. I'm horrible. I'm even worse at Aaron keeping secrets. Luckily, it's going to happen pretty soon. And it was really special to us. I'm sure it will be to you guys.
Yep.
And it's super fun to sit down with people we look up to, and also the people that we don't even know, the newer bands that want to be on and stuff, and just constantly meet new people. And can't wait to get to 2022 and festival season and stuff, getting out there to see more of you.
Oh, dude, I got an email today from Northwest String Summit. It's so fucking on. It's so on for Summit.
Yeah.
There's, dude. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I can't spill the beans here yet, but just if you were like on the fence about coming to Northwest String Summit next year and you're a listener of No Simple Road, if you don't come this year, you've dropped the ball.
There should be no fence to be on when it comes to Northwest String Summit.
Unless there's, some crazy circumstances.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, I was going to stay home or go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah, like what should I do?
I got to go to my grandma's 90th birthday, or no, I'm not talking about that.
There should be no on the fence with Northwest String Summit. So,
and we haven't even seen what the lineup is yet, but it doesn't even matter.
No, it's going to be amazing no matter what.
Yeah. So yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up my week, and we'll see what
the future holds.
Santaness happens this year.
Well, everybody, listen. They like we've been talking about the mental health thing this week, and if you're struggling and you need help, you can go to betterhelp.com/No Simple Road, and they'll give you a discount on getting connected with somebody to talk to. They'll get you connected to somebody within 48 hours, and it's not like this isn't a commercial. I'm telling you seriously, like, if you need somebody to talk to, you can do that. And if you don't want to do that and you just want to like email somebody, you can email any of us at info@nosimpleroad.com, and one of us will get back to you. And if you want to DM us on Instagram too, if you want to connect with us through there, I'm always there to answer and talk to you and help you out. None of us should go through this holiday season alone in our heads struggling with bullshit. And we're family and we love you guys, and we got to take care of each other, because the reality that we're in now is really different than the reality that we were in a couple of years ago, and we've got to watch out for each other and take care of each other, and it's really fucking important right now. So that's that. And so I think we've done all we can do this week.
Yeah, I mean, short of adding another hour onto this for insights.
Insights from my navel.
But yeah, thanks for always being listening ears, everybody that listens. Sometimes we don't, I guess I should say, sometimes I don't say it enough. I'm so grateful for everybody that listens and that writes in and participates with us, and for the guests who come on and share their insights and their talents. And I'm just grateful for this body of work and for everybody who's involved in it.
All right.
Yeah. So happy holidays, everybody.
Remember,
whatever that
happy
means.
holidays.
Go to nosimpleroad.com, sign up for the newsletter, buy yourself some merch, go to patreon.com/No Simple Road, pitch in $1 a month, help us out, keep this thing going. And
or more.
Most importantly, tell somebody that you know that would dig the show about it, so that we can have more of you out there with your ears connected to our voices, and then our hearts connected to yours, and we make this big, wonderful connection and community, and we love you guys. And
yeah.
We do love you guys. And also, just one last plug for all of you. Don't forget all our sponsors. There's amazing gifts from all of them.
Yeah.
Shop Tour Bus, Electric Fish Lights, Define have been with us for a long, long time.
Sunset
Lake is one that's been with us for a while that we thoroughly believe in, and these are great gifts for people.
Yeah, you can give any one of those gifts to your mom, dad, granny.
Well, CBD, I guess you can.
Yeah.
Give Granny some CBD coffee and
cannabis,
get her
light.
Give her a little salve. She'll need that. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody.
We love you guys. We'll see you next
man.
week with more stuff and things. Remember, take care of each other, man. Smile at a stranger. Safety third. Hydrate. And we'll see you at MSG.
Boom.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? One simple road. Defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners, I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.